What really obvious thing have you only just realized? I recently realized I was allergic to carrots. I just thought they made everyone's mouth numb, you know, just like almonds. I also learned recently that I have an almond allergy. Same here. Thought that raw hazelnuts don't taste good because they give this weird tingle in your mouth. Found out I had a nut allergy when it suddenly turned from tingle to anaphylaxis, and I ended up in hospital for eating nut chocolate. Nothing like losing your ability to breathe. On the plus side, I've had to use EP 3 times in my life and it works phenomenally. Nut allergy pro tip: watch out for the pits of certain fruits. I drank some mango juice once and went full anaphylaxis. Turns out the seed is just like a cashew. Super embarrassing, but in college I would order Roman Cokes because I heard everyone else ordering the same. Turns out I misheard everyone and found out it was just rum and coke. A Roman Coke does sound like a great drink though. Mix equal parts rum and cola. Pour over ice and serve. That the division symbol is just a blank fraction with dots replacing the numerator and denominator. Well hell, all of these I read in this. This one got me. Mind you, I teach elementary school. Thank your lucky stars I don't teach math. Percent symbol 2%. That Jessica Rabbit is not a rabbit, but took Roger Rabbit's last name. On a similar vein, as a child I was confused as to why Mary, Kate, and Ashley were referred to as the Olsen twins, and why ads on TV only ever showed 2 of them at a time. And then 16-year-old me found out about Mary Kate. John Oliver would like a word with you. I live in a part of Chicago called Greektown for 8 years and never realized the blue and white Christmas lights were meant to represent the colors on their flag. It just dawned on me today. I think Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord. A Sith Lord? I live in Denmark, so English is not my native language, and I just realized that weekend means the end of the week. The odd thing is that in the US, our calendars are arranged Sunday to Saturday, so it's sort of the weekend, but it's also the week beginning. It was a bit of a surprise when I moved to Denmark and saw calendars arranged Monday to Sunday. Weekends, like bookends. The first time I visited the USA I was on my own and in New York and going to all the museums. I kept seeing signs that said no strollers and thought, because we call strollers prams in the UK, that you guys are super strict about the proper amount of attention required to visit a museum. I actually pretended to show more interest than I had and ought not to be thought of as some deadbeat out for a casual stroll. It wasn't until about day 3 that I saw a no stroller sign that included a graphic for idiots. I'm a Brit who got sucked into a holiday job doing door-to-door sales for a MLM company in the US. All the doors were signs saying no solicitors confused me. As I was neither an attorney or a rent boy, I figured I was in the clear. Fortunately, the local police took an afternoon out of my day to explain. Since you just brought it up, I went years after seeing the movie Trainspotting, thinking Rent Boy was just a cute folksy Scottish nickname for a guy whose name is Renton. Wasn't till I read the book, and he mentions being offended by the sobriquet, that I bothered to look it up. Not a term one will hear in America, that's for sure. This girl I know has a dog named Deirdre. 2 years into knowing her and being around Deirdre, I was having a conversation with her sister-in-law, and I said I love the name Deirdre. How did she come up with that? Her sister-in-law responds, Deirdre, and I said yay, it's a neat name. She started laughing and said no, D-O-G. The way you spell dog. I'm still mind blown about this lol. I knew someone whose dog was named Spot. S-P-O-T. Growing up we had a friend that named his pet parakeet Wiffer, as in opposite of Twitter. Must have been a stereo freak. That big ships we got to turn as a kid was not actually controlling the cruise ship. Hide White. Exactly. It was watching reruns of that very episode that led to my realization. When I was little we had an Australian shepherd named Sydney. I didn't understand why her name was Sydney until 18 years later. I named my American Eskimo Juno. You have an Eskimo? I learned that allspice is actually one spice, and not a blend of spices containing cinnamon and nutmeg, and tasting it doesn't help disprove that theory. My highest rated comment after 10 years on Reddit posting every day is this, and after a few hours, yeah okay, I guess that's askreddit for you. In Germany we just call it piment. But in other countries it's called Forspice or allspice because it tastes like cinnamon, clove, pepper and nutmeg combined. When I was a kid my mom told me my rabbit Rosie went to live on a farm. In my early 20s I saw an episode of The Sopranos where everyone makes fun of Tony when he realizes his dog didn't really go to live on a farm. That's when I realized Rosie had not gone to a farm either. If it makes you feel any better, I lived on a farm as a kid and took in 2 rabbits. One of my mom's friends was sick of her kids having rabbits, so I got them. They lived a good life. I used to bring them all of the but ends of any vegetables my mom chopped up, and I gave them a lot of ice cubes in the summer. They didn't like to be petted, but they seemed to like it when I read to them. That has to be one of the cutest things I've ever read. That to take off the plastic piece on top of deodorant you just simply twist the bottom a few times lmao. No. I must bite. That's what I've been doing for years. That they put measurement stickers next to gas station doors so if a robber is running out of the store you can get a better estimate of their height. I always thought they were just there for something fun to do on road trip stops. More than that, they are not actually accurate if you stand against them and measure that way. They are supposed to be placed so the camera will show the correct height of the person, compensating for the angle of the camera. Whoa. Whole new dimension to it now. Till. Not me but my husband just understood that Q is pronounced Q and not key. His mind was blown. I have to remind myself key is pronounced key, not quay, so this made me do a double take. Slaps face, good damn it. That parents have children write letters to Santa so they can figure out what to buy them for Christmas. I can't believe how I never put that together after 32 years on this earth. I just thought it was fun little tradition. In Sweden we put those letters in the post box with mail headed to the North Pole. In Canada you also send them in the mail to Santa Claus, North Pole, H0H0H0. Canada Post volunteers stationed at Santa's workshop will mail you back a letter from Old Saint Nick. Our postal codes are letter, number, letter, number, letter, number. I'm in my 50s. I grew up in a rural area north of New York City. I'm a veteran. I'm reasonably intelligent, reasonably well traveled. I've been hearing and repeating this expression on and off for all of my life. Friend/acquaintance 1. Hey, man, see you soon. Friend/acquaintance 2. Not if I see you first. Smirk. It's just within the last few years that I realized that's almost always joking. Kind jab at friend/acquaintance 1. It was so ritualized as a way to say goodnight to a buddy that it never occurred to me that it meant that the friend would choose to avoid the other person. I knew a woman who told a story about how she was attending a family gathering, and when her dad arrived she said to him as she walked up to give him a hug, "Hey there. Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" Everybody in the room just looked at her in shock and then burst out laughing. She had heard the expression, but just never thought about what it meant, so she thought it was just a quirky way to say hello lol. I'm going to remember this one. Next time I'm up all night thinking about all the dumb crap I've ever said and done, I'll just go back to this one and remember that it will never be that bad. I didn't know the characters on Family Guy had accents. Live in New England watching with my wife, not from here, and she says wow they really nailed the accents. I say what accents? Blew my mind when she explained not everyone talks like that lmao. People keep praising the latest Spider-Man for his accurate Queen's accent, but I don't hear it. Bro same. People can figure out I'm from New York by the way I say water, but it's not like I have a heavy Nye accent with the word ah crap, we just say water instead, and I never realized until someone pointed it out that the Houston Astros name comes from astronauts, and the Baltimore Ravens are because Edgar Allan Poe lived and is buried in Baltimore. Don't forget died with him. It might be a believable rumor otherwise. Cruella de Vil was a cruel devil. The word for explorer in Spanish is exploradora. Dora the Explorer, a Spanish play in words. Who's that super cool exploradora? I always thought you can't have your cake and eat it. Too was a weird saying because why wouldn't I be able to eat my slice of cake? It's my cake. Nobody was telling me that I can't have my cake. Turns out they mean you can't eat the cake while also still retaining it. Once it is eaten, it is gone. An idiom I did not understand until this year. I'm 27. The Italian version of this is you can't have a full bottle and a wasted wife or something along those lines. This is better. Not just now, but I think it applies. I'm currently in my mid-30s. I didn't realize, until I was about 28 years old, that my mom's name was Betty and her sister's name was Wilma. Betty and Wilma. From the Flintstones. And yes, they were definitely named after the cartoon, I asked. Flash forward 2 years later, my aunt Wilma informed me that they were fraternal twins. Again, another thing for 30 years I had not known. Them being the same age with the same birthday wasn't a clue. He always forgot his mom's birthday. Learned from a similar thread, but I was 40 years old before I realized that there is an arrow indicating what side the gas cap is on by the gas gauge. Or, for cars that do not have the arrow, the gas cap is on the side the gauge is on. Whoa. I knew about the arrow, didn't think about the gauge. That alcohol doesn't freeze in a regular freezer. I knew this, but my dumbass still tried to make frozen alcohol pops. A friend and I tried this, lol, we were already wasted, so we thought time was dragging. This little piggy didn't go to the market to do any shopping. Wait. Then why are the other pigs eating roast beef? I feel like there's at least one of these pigs with its own agenda. Man, pigs will eat anything. The lead singer of Blur is the lead singer of Gorillaz. I realized the opposite. I was a Gorillaz fan before I was a Blur fan. One day, I heard Coffee and TV and thought to myself, this sounds a bit like a Gorillaz song. I became a Blur fan that day, which is weird because Damon did not do lead vocals on that song. Graham did. I was a voracious reader and was way ahead of the curve during school, but didn't realize until age 50 that there are two discretes. One website said the trick to remembering them is the two letters stay next to each other when they want to whisper a secret. Hold up. What's the other one mean? Then, discreet equals subtle, non-obvious. That is, my wife discreetly whispered to me that I had crumbs on my shirt at a fancy dinner party. Discrete equals having specific, defined states rather than a continuum. For example, a volume knob that has 10 notches labeled 1, 10, and can only be in one of those 10 notches is discrete. A volume knob that can be smoothly adjusted to any position around the rotation is not discrete. It's kind of a big deal for physics stuff. This is so stupid, but I didn't realize my moms were gay until I was almost 14, and I literally heard my mom say I'm gay to my grandma as a joke. I knew that lesbian / same-sex / gay were relatively interchangeable, but it didn't click as my moms are lesbians, which is another term for being gay, and they are gay until that moment. I also have a gay mum, but I didn't know the word lesbian till 6th grade. I got into a massive fight with my best friend because she called my mum a lesbian and I didn't know what that was, so I thought it was an insult. Nope. Turns out if your mum has a girlfriend, she's probably a lesbian. I'm 25 next week, and I still think about it. Maybe she had just learned the words herself and was trying it out. I was teaching a sex ed class for kids that age, and one of the kids submitted an anonymous question. Part of the class format, every session had answers to the previous session's anonymous questions, asking me, are you a lesbian? Yes, anonymous 12-year-old, I'm a lesbian. Story time. When I was little, for some reason I hated toast. Just hated it. My parents always tried to make me eat it, but I always refused. My grandma decided to try something different. She took toast, cut it up into tiny squares, put some butter on them, and called them little pillows. I ate them all the time. Only now, at 22 years old, did I realize it was just freaking toast. My little brother used to claim to hate bananas, but he loved eating grandma's special pancakes. They were banana pancakes. My nan still gives him crap about that 20 years on. My friend, 22Y.0, only realized last year that dolphins have to swim and live in the water to survive. He thought they're land mammals, but they just really like to swim for fun. What? How? How would they even function on land? Your mate really didn't think that one through. I like how you put the word mate in quotes, as though no one that stupid could ever really be a friend. Okay, this was a couple of years ago, but it was something I realized way too late in my life. You're supposed to use a towel to dry yourself after a shower. I was just wrapping it around myself and sitting/walking around in it until I air dried. Last time I remember this question asked, there was a guy that didn't realize you could wait until the water got hot to get in the shower. He hated how it always starts so cold. I'm 16 and didn't realize until a month ago you don't have to turn sinks up all the way. Water always splashed me when I washed my hands, and I complained to a friend, and she said just turn the handle halfway then. My life has gone uphill from there, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. That Cheez-Its are amazing soup crackers for tomato soup. Doritos on chili too. WTF, I have been living in darkness. Pancakes are cakes made in a pan. I thought they were invented by a guy named Pan until this morning. Wait till you hear about funnel cakes. The ones invented by John Funnel. Cilantro and coriander are the same plant. One time I was at a restaurant with a friend, sharing salsa and chips. I commented that the salsa had a very strong cilantro flavor, and she commented she couldn't taste anything other than coriander. We debated the issue for a few minutes, in disbelief that the other person was tasting something completely different, and couldn't pick up on the taste the other thought was prominent. When I saw coriander seeds at the store a few weeks later, I bought them to see what taste she had been talking about, and then the truth clicked. I mean, at least you guys weren't arguing about how the salsa does or doesn't taste like soap. Definitely cold bean worse. That a skirt and a dress are two different things. I'm 42. I like how you addressed the issue and didn't skirt around it. No need to dress it down.